Hey there everyone, Zer here.
And Liv?
Welcome back to NieR Automata. So, I got to work. I hunted down a bunch of these rare machines, many of which only have a chance of showing up, but we're at 96% Unidata. If this doesn't do it, I don't care. More enemy data, eh? I appreciate it. It's great having another scanner helping me out. Thanks to you, I've gathered the data 60% faster than I'd planned. I wonder how long we'll be doing this. It's not like we Yorha units have a home to return to. Yeah, but gathering intelligence is still important. It's a huge support for the war effort, which, incidentally, I don't believe in at this point. You're looking awfully alive for my tastes. I know that! Sorry, Nines. I didn't mean to yell at you. Anyway, this chunk of data you brought means I've finally hit my goal. I'd like you to have this. It belonged to an old friend, but I think he'd be happy to know that you're using it.
Oh.
A new bolt, sturdy sockets, clean nuts, pristine cable, large battery. Exactly what did you plunder, young man?
He said he, so another scanner?
See you around, Nines. And remember, no regrets, okay? We need to think about what we're going to do from this point forward. Thanks for everything.
Okay. So, this doesn't really give away anything in the ending of the game, but there's a theory going around that 4S isn't really there. He's supposed to be, like, he might be some kind of illusion of 9S, because he is you exactly with just a hair color swap. And unlike you, who seems to be going through an existential crisis on your meaning in life and this war, he seems perfectly content and resigned to keep doing things as is. He's very by the book. He knows what's happened and that Yorha has fallen, and yet he's still content to continue doing his job exactly the same way until he can't anymore. But he's also kind of hopeful at the same time of what he might want to do later. So he's literally the polar opposite of you. So people suspect that maybe 4S is not real. Some other people also think that he might have been A2's scanner, but there's no evidence to back that up.
You're not the first S model we've encountered with black hair, though.
I know, but the hairstyle is actually the same as yours. You can't tell from that angle, but the idea is he looks exactly like you, with just black hair. And of course, when he shows up and where.
Okay.
Apparently, it was also considered an oversight with a line that happens at the end, which I will not reveal. The devs admitted that that was a mistake. So, after what we got with our first endings, he's actually supposed to be in the same boat as you and 2B and A2 as being the last of the Yorha. Even after the big thing that we just dealt with.
Alright, so, weapon stories. Only good things ahead.
Hooray!
In the capital of a distant eastern land, there lived a poet who was devoted to his art. But his words failed to touch the hearts of the people, and he could make no profit from them. Soon, his life became unbearably hard. Seeing the limits of his talent, the poet chose to abandon the pen and work the land instead. Soon, his lily-white skin began to grow dark, and his once frail body became sinewy and tough. He eventually married a kind woman, and several years later, they had a child. As the peaceful, uneventful days went on, the man began to feel that there could be no greater happiness in life. Or so the poet wrote before he put down his pen, swallowed the paper whole, and prayed that the next life might turn out so well. He then took faith, already stained with the blood of another, and plunged it deep into his chest.
Oof.
Based on the picture, I'm gonna let you have this one.
Dad, if you're cold, I can give you my hat. You're the best dad in the world, after all. Dad, if you're hungry, you can have my cookie. You're my favorite person in the world, after all. Dad, if you're scared, I can sleep by your side. You're my closest friend in the world, after all. So, please don't go anywhere. All right, Dad? Don't leave your Yona all alone. Okay?
Well, it's explicitly NieR 1.
Oh, yeah.
This one we have read.
Yeah. Phoenix Town.
There's new. The girl lay there on the day of her wedding. Her parents and beloved were dead, and she herself had been violated in front of their corpses. As she swore to kill those who had done this terrible deed, a shining songbird appeared. "Allow me to grant your wish," said the bird. "Wish upon this dagger, and never forget this hatred that you feel." The girl grasped the weapon and spat out a tearful curse.
I vow not to forget. Please, give them a painful death.
Time passed, and eventually she got her revenge. Years later, when she was an old woman, the songbird appeared anew. "What of your vow?" it asked. But she did not understand. And come to think of it, what became of her beloved dagger? That night, bandits broke into her house, assaulted her daughter, and murdered her grandchild. The songbird then reappeared with a single question. "How long will your hatred burn this time?"
Ooh, vindictive little bastard, isn't it?
I think this one we read.
Yeah, we did this one. This is new.
This one's new. Yorha or R&D Teen Journal, August 29th. Held a progress report meeting for the new weapon. Considering how many observers we have from the other orbiting satellites, I can tell they expect a lot from us. December 10th. We had our first core installation experiment today. Saw some troubling signs, including issues with unexpected irregular output and core perimeter defenses. January 8th. The circuits of 3 consecutive staffers burned out after attempting to remove the core's protection. I've requested replacement personnel. January 15th. Command pulled the plug on our project. And the weapon will go into official operation with the core still sealed. The craftsman's weapons were neither flashy nor attractive, but they never once failed in battle. This reliability afforded him a never-ending stream of loyal clients. Yet something nagged at the craftsman. Though he'd forged many a weapon, he'd only tested them on pigs and cows. He wondered what it might feel like to use them on another human being. The craftsman took a sword to a battlefield and slashed at corpses, disappointed at how easily the sword slid through them. It wasn't satisfying at all. He wanted to really feel like he was ripping through flesh.
Okay.
The craftsman modified a sword in search of that feeling, not thinking at all of the pain it would cause, until one night, a bandit broke into his home, snatched the weapon up, and showed him exactly how effective it was.
Ooh.
We've done Virtuous Contract. Cruel Oath is new. Once, long ago, there was a group of 7 boys who were born in the same village. Though they were not brothers by blood, they treated each other as family. One cold night, a fortune teller appeared and warned of a traitor among them. The boys laughed it off and went about their business, but the next morning, one of them lay dead. With each passing night, another boy died. The survivors grew more and more suspicious of each other, each harboring terrible doubts about what happened to their brothers. On the morning of the 7th day, a single survivor stood tall. Cleaning the blood from his hands, he chuckled to himself. Better go find the traitor.
Okay.
Hey James, welcome to the stream.
What's up, James?
You are Blaze New. Morning, listeners! It's time to kick off another installment of Listener Letters with your favorite radio idol, DJ Ford. It's letters and numbers.
24.
DJ 24D. Now, let's get this day started right, shall we?
Nice.
How's it going, listeners? Yeah, I know. You're all still thinking about that cleanup operation yesterday, right? We may have lost a lot of good people, but it's still our job to get up and at 'em, right? Howdy, listeners. Your favorite radio idol, DJ 24D, hasn't been receiving many letters lately. Don't you like me anymore? Or maybe no one is even listening. Anyway, who's ready to kick things off? Hello? Is anyone there? Is this thing even on? It's me. It's me, radio listeners. 24D. I'm an idol, remember? An idol! An idol, 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 an idol. The more old records I read, the more fascinated I become by the species known as humans. We machines must do... Oh, you're machines, okay. The more old records I read, the more fascinated I become by the species known as humans. We machines must do all we can to preserve these precious artifacts and continue to record their contents. I see from these records how important predation and reproduction were to human survival, and yet they viewed such acts as sinful. I wonder why. I found a famous human book today, but after reading it 10 times, it still makes no sense to me. What possible attraction could there be to such a thing? Eureka! It seems the answer was in front of me all along. I am simply incapable of comprehending anything about humanity or the world in general. Ah, how wonderful it is to live in a world swaddled in mystery. That one wasn't horrible.
I know.
I'm scared. A small prince rests alone in a vast, vast bedroom. He wishes his father knew how much he hates sleeping alone, but he doesn't dare to tell him. For the king is a very busy man and must not be disturbed.
Wow.
A king sits alone in his vast, vast office, drowning in affairs of state. All he wants is to see his family and hug his son, but he cannot, for his every waking moment must be spent in service of the people. One day, while eating dinner, the king asks his own son what he most desires in the world. He hopes he will say that he wants them to spend more time together, but instead, the boy simply points at a sword hanging on the wall. The ancient sword is considered the sign that one is ready to rule. Someday, the king chuckles. His son faintly smiles back at him. All he really wanted was for his father to read him a bedtime story.
Not this.
I was in a dead sleep when Mum started shouting.
Wakey, wakey!
She squawked.
Rise and shine! Today's a very important day. Today's your first visit to the castle.
Annoying, right? But I got up anyway. Today's my 16th birthday, and I have an audience with the king. Mom's apparently worried that he'll charge me with some big important task. So she gave me a cypress stick for some reason. Like that'll help. As we walk to the castle, Mom keeps blabbing about how excited she is and how long she's been waiting for this day. She's told me the story 1,000,001 times, so I just keep quiet like always. When we arrive, I see my friend coming out of the castle. He's 16 too, but his fearless gaze makes him look like a legendary hero to be. I'm sure he's got a lot to live up to. My dad's just a carpenter, so I've got it easy.
What? I wonder if this is a reference to something.
I don't know how specific it is, but given that this is an homage to Dragon Quest,
Oh, okay.
and this is a very stereotypical JRPG opening.
That's what I was wondering. I was just like, is this referencing something very specific?
Hawk thinks that your mom is Kawakami.
Kawakami? From...
Persona?
Ah! Yeah, probably. I can only do so many.
The sword's blade, dulled by years of idleness, was, as its name implied, a mere iron hunk. Its blood-drenched youth was little more than a series of rusted memories which grated against its pockmarked steel. Who could wield this hunk of iron now that its edge was gone? Who might love it when all it could do was bash dully against a foe instead of cutting through flesh and bone? Who would devote themselves to such insanity? The sword sighed softly, pleased to finally be at rest. But before it could peacefully crumble into dust, a group of power-hungry fools took it up and denied its reverie anew. Red rust was the weapon's tears. The blood, fat, and muscle it tore through was proof of its curse. Now let it hew bone once more. Let it ravage flesh. Let it do all this and more as atonement for its sins!
Okay, then.
Done the fang. Beast Woods new.
Oh, dang.
Once upon a time, there were 3 princesses. The eldest princess was thought by all to be the most brilliant woman in the kingdom, and she soon sat upon the throne of our homeland as their queen. The new queen raised a mighty army. To afford the endeavor, she taxed her people, and in turn, they were given jobs in new factories, created to support the war effort. People worked, money flowed. As the army grew strong, the demand for factories grew with it. And then the cycle repeated. More work, more money, more work, more money. The queen's plan proceeded just as she had envisioned it. To further strengthen the kingdom, we were converted to machines to enhance our output in factories and the military. Our queen, in turn, became the control system that rules us to this day. Phoenix. Sword is red. Type 4O. Blade is new. Development Journal 0504. Takata. I've come up with an incredible idea. Something no one has ever done before. I'm going to start testing it out first thing in the morning. Development Journal 0704. Takata. My boss turned down my idea of infusing metallic alloys with magical elements. Thrice damned fool. Doesn't he see how much money we could make from this? Development Journal 1201. Takata.
They didn't want to make more money.
More money? Things aren't going well. My hair is falling out. I think it's the stress. I've got to find a way to make this project succeed, and soon. Development Journal 1215. Fujita. I looked over the data but couldn't work out the problem. I'm not giving up, though. With Takata dead, it's up to me. I'm the only one who can carry on his work. No, Type 3 is new. The Greatsword was known for the intense pain it inflicted upon its victims. This is what drove the man to carry it, despite its weight, for he knew it would make others fear him, and thus could he avoid needless conflict. The man's reputation spread through the village despite never having drawn the blade. Don't make him use that horrid weapon, the villagers whispered. The man smiled at this, for he knew that fear was the best path to peace. Soon the man had craftsmen forge a host of similar weapons. He gave them to all the other villagers in the hope it would force people to solve conflicts with words instead of violence, and his plan worked. For a while. Keeping all sides in check is simple when no one uses their power. But once that seal is broken, the end is nigh. Thus did the peaceful village transform itself into a living hell over the space of a single night. First encounter with my lover. Failed to connect with my lover. Far away went my lover. With death went my lover to eternity. I'll never forget the time we met. I knew ours was a love that would last for eternity. But, oh, well, no, this can still be a guy. But even when by his side, his feelings were a mystery. It was painful not to know what he was thinking. So painful. When I was close, I hurt him. Yet, being distant hurt him more. I finally found my place in life. A place where I am as close as possible, yet eternally distant.
I think that's to be.
It's not her sword, but...
I often see her with it, or it's mentioned with her.
Isn't she, virtuous? Virtuous contract.
Mm-hmm.
Who says it couldn't be 2B? Or some sort of analog. Machine X. Human fight. Why? Why humans love? Why do humans band together? Why are you alive? Legends tell of a mighty warrior who had no equal in battle. Granted immortality by a phoenix, he wandered from war to war, forever searching for ways to prove his strength. Eventually, the man's immortal body proved too much for his spirit, and he ran himself through with his own spear again and again.
Ooh.
But each time he did, the wound closed over itself, leaving not even a scar. He leapt from cliffs, threw himself into raging seas, and lit himself aflame, but nothing worked. Then one day, he slipped mercifully into unconsciousness, and awoke centuries later to find a songbird on his chest. "You have atoned for your sins," said the bird. "If you wish me to free you from your solitary existence, I will gladly do so." The man wept tears of joy and whispered thanks to the gods before suddenly stomping the bird to death. Well, that went somewhere.
Wow.
I guess he just wanted atonement, and he got that, so...
Oh, yeah.
Immortality, baby! Once upon a time, there were 3 princesses. The youngest princess was widely regarded as the ugliest woman in all the land, but her heart was gentle, honest, and pure. Hoping to aid others in need, the youngest princess would travel to the fields to offer succor to peasants, but they would reject her kindness with cruel words. The youngest princess knew her looks were driving people away, yet she kept donating her life to the service of others, figuring that the fault lied in her own lack of devotion. Day after day this continued, for years without end. The youngest princess died alone, curled in the back of a damp, wet alley. She was so ugly that no one had the courage to give her a proper burial. Instead, she rotted where she lay, turning ever uglier until she faded into the earth. It was so ugly that everybody died. I had a dream about the day we met. He was small. He was insignificant. He was weak. Yet he hated the world just as I did. I decided to aid him, and he did the same for me. Thus was our friendship born. It wasn't perfect, of course. Mistakes were made along the way. Still, we remained friends. The blue wind that caresses these grasslands has a pleasing scent. I bring my cheek to his, and he twitches, almost as if tickled. Then I spread my wings and let him ride me into the skies above. Yay, happy story. In a distant kingdom there lived two princes. The son of the queen consort was clever of mind, but weak of flesh. The son of the king's second wife was dim-witted, yet charming, and quite gifted in the art of war. Which prince would succeed the throne? When news came down that the king had died in battle, the two men each declared themselves the next true king, rallying the people to take the side of one or the other. In the midst of this coronation battle, a third man appeared, claiming to be a prince. Bright, capable, and brave, he dispatched the two foolish brothers, and went on to become a wise and just king, beloved by all. Decades later, the king announced on his deathbed that he wasn't royalty at all, but in fact was the son of a commoner. Upon hearing this revelation, the people stormed the castle and hung their beloved ruler from the rafters.
Okay.
The reference I couldn't place was that ugly one from there. SpongeBob.
Ah.
The ugly barnacle.
Oh.
When you get a chance, look that up in TV tropes. It's got a huge page devoted to it. It's amazing.
Wow.
For Lance is new. This is a different guy. But he is an S.
Oh.
Hi guys, it's me, 42S, your favorite Yorha Squadron idol from North 12C Defense HQ. I'm here with the latest hot scoops from the front line, so let's get out there and do our best, alright?
Oh, yeah.
Go team!
What about this guy?
Hey ho, Battlefield buddies! I'm not gonna lie here. The current war situation isn't looking too optimistic. But we're expecting reinforcements from our orbiting satellite bases any moment, so don't give up yet. Glory to mankind! Mayday! Mayday! This is Publicity Agent 42S from North 12C Defense HQ. Is anyone listening? Our facility has been completely surrounded by machines. I don't know how much longer we can hold. No broadcast from this channel.
Yeah.
We read that one. The elegant white spear was crafted by a tyrant as a gift for his wife, whose parents he had killed years earlier. She slipped it under the bed they shared, then later used it to run him through 30 times. The spear's second owner was a courageous, bandit-fighting mayor. In her later years, her strength faded until one night, a pack of young thugs surrounded her and took all that she had, including her life. The third owner was a greedy merchant who lived to swindle customers. Customers. The third owner was a greedy merchant who lived to swindle customers. Soon, she found herself shunned and penniless, and so decided to hang herself. The unused spear rested in a corner of her home as a decoration. The fourth owner was a meek young boy who wanted to aid his sickly young sister. He gave all to his cause, including his very existence, and that of all else in the world. Oh, hey. Replicant.
Mm-hmm.
Galactus. You- The dark, hideous lance was crafted by a beautiful female artisan. As people far and wide praised its design, the artisan's apprentice grew jealous and slew her, the lance itself soon vanishing into the mists of time. The lance's second owner was a puppeteer who crafted a clockwork doll capable of doing nearly anything. When he put the lance in the doll's hand, she lashed out and pierced the puppeteer's skull right between the eyes. The third owner was an infant prince who was gifted the lance by the Queen Regent. She died soon thereafter, and on the night of her funeral, the lance vanished from the infant's room, leaving behind only a tiny corpse in the crib. The fourth owner was a simple, honest man who wanted to aid his sickly daughter. He gave all to this cause, including his very existence and that of all else in the world. Helgestalt.
Yep.
My name is Plato1728. I am a failure of a machine. I was designed for combat, but I can't use weapons. Everyone makes fun of me, and my life is horrible. I am a dumb machine. I got lost during battle and ended up in some kind of factory. I found a whole pile of dolls discarded there. They share the same fate I do. I am a foolish machine. Today I had to fight at that factory. All of the dolls got completely destroyed, crushed by my friends and foes, who can do nothing but fight, fight, fight. I activated my cannon and shot everyone there. I'm not sure why I did that. All I know is I decided to fight, because I'm just a stupid, broken machine. Once there was a demon who held an affinity for angels. He dreamed of serving alongside them and their god, yet cursed the impossibility of it all. Then one day he came to Earth, bringing himself a step closer to heaven. An angel was sent to slay the demon. When the evil one saw his foe, he burst into tears and revealed his plan. "Please," the demon begged, "you must give me a set of white wings for my very own." The angel agreed to trade a set of white wings for the head of another demon. Overjoyed, the demon killed one of his own and plucked the head right off its still warm body. The angel then led the demon to heaven, where he underwent centuries of the cruelest tortures imaginable. Finally, the pain was so great that he lost consciousness, at which point his dark wings turned the promised shade of white. That's mean. And I'm going to regret choosing that voice for a demon. Once there was a gentle angel who came to Earth to provide salvation for those in need. Whether it was curing illnesses, offering blessings, or cheering the sad, he was always there when needed. The angel, however, provided aid to sinners and non-believers as well, an act which was strictly forbidden. Each time he did so, a single white feather would fall away from his glorious wings. One day, the angel came across a young girl with an illness that pained her deeply, but he could do nothing to help the child, for all his feathers had long since fallen off. The angel fucked. The angel cursed both himself and the cruelty of the world. The resulting hatred stained his body and his wings, turning them both black as night. Then, crying tears of blood, he brought his hands to the girl's neck. I'll read that one. This one's new. Sorry, it's the voice. Okay. The man wailed an inhuman scream as he brought his fist down on his opponent's skull. He brought it down again, and again, and again, until the victim was nothing more than a splatter of blood and bits. The man had a beautiful wife that drove everyone wild with jealousy. They lived a simple, happy life, yet the man always strove to keep his wife safe above all else. One night, the man came home to find a stranger in his bed. His wife told him that he had forced himself on her, at which point the husband flew into a rage and vowed to exact revenge. The man bought a weapon from a craftsman famed for forging instruments of pain, then used it to punish his wife, for he could not abide that she failed to protect her virtue. His revenge was complete. Okay. I take up the sword and battle for you. My heart knows not fear, instead burning with a love strong and pure. I swing my sword for you, splattering blood across my sleeve. I smile as the chaos continues. I brandish my sword for you. Victims uncountable, victims beyond measure. Their dying wails become the song of my sleep. I cry out, "Give me your head!" I capture you as you flee and take it. I do all this for you. For you. For you. Who are you? I lack parts. I am useless. My existence is unnecessary. I tried so hard, Mommy.
And got so far.
Oh, this is you.
Oh, this is cool. I confirm that the machine life forms released by the aliens have reconstructed their network. I started to see units with gravity controlling capabilities again as well. As I spawned about a week ago, so I don't have clear recollections of anything before that. Say, I wonder where the original disappeared to all those millennia ago. I confirmed that the 25th one born after me has stopped his biological activity. Although we're technically immortal, since we can respawn indefinitely and all, we're still not exempt from death. Our memories are only copies, so they're pretty vague. That android wearing black, I have this feeling I've met her before. She had a complicated look on her face, but I can't remember anything.
Hey, that is all the stories. Where was that? I don't remember. There are a couple places that spawn infinite enemies because I want to do some fighting.
Okay.
But where was the other one? Because I think it was more convenient.
I don't know why. I keep thinking the desert would have one, but...
It does have one. That's a little inconvenient to get to, though. Oh, right.
Huh? What?
I remember I found that other area with infinitely spawning units. So at this point, I'm gonna take a look at some of the weapons we didn't use over the course of this playthrough, and that's a lot. And pick a couple of the interesting ones to showcase what they do. So let's see what we got. Oh yeah, I don't need you anymore. So this is gonna be more interesting to you than it is to me.
Oh, yeah.
The number text changed.
Not just... wait, was he always able to do that little after
Nope.
image of himself? Yeah, that's definitely a nod to what happens when Noctis teleports around. It's neat. Yeah, he got those little sparkly blue particle effect, and he's got like that after image of himself.
Cyber stick, of course. It's a pretty similar effect. Dragon Quest numbers. Very visible.
Oh. That's cute.
I have no idea what this is. It sounds cool. Let's see if anything notable happens. Can you give us a hint anywhere? Oh, okay. Increase the power of mid-air attacks. This one's good. You have a chance of hijacking enemies. Let's go make some friends. Hey! Friendship. use these.
Really hear what Neil's saying.
See if we can do something about the sound. Settings. Oh, very useful thing I found in the settings.
Oh.
Turn off mini-map rotation, so suddenly you have a compass.
Mm.
Sound.
Oh, okay. Something.
He said Neil being.
Ah. Wow.
Cute. Could maybe use a little more variety.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's good. Alright, so should be two major tasks ahead now. I'm gonna go and jump and do the first of them. And since this is very likely our last day with NieR, if anyone in the audience has anything that they want to see or go over, let us know and we'll try to accommodate. Just as soon as I find my way out. It's like the one non-white thing. There it is. It blends in really well. Yep, that's in the plant hall. Come to think of it, I probably want to switch over to A2.
The structure known as the tower has opened its gate.
Let's check it out.
Is the Phoenix like your favorite one?
I'm kind of just accustomed to it at this point, but let's see. It's got a very nice design. I think it's also relatively high damage. Let's see. Now that I have everything, what would my optimal layout be? Chance of restoring HP is useful.
Does it... Wait, is it actually attached or is it like a floating piece at the end?
I'd actually take that one over it. Oh, but yeah, that's fine.
3... Outdated. Virtuous dignity, hilarious.
Observation. 9S hates A2 and wants to kill her, but still shares all of his weapons with her. Because you only have one inventory.
Iron Will. Wow. It really does look like a colossal blade. Here's the Fang of Twins, Beast Lord, Type 4. Oof.
Fairly sure I want attack speed up.
Such as treating, growth.
Which, yeah, makes it the Phoenix.
Alright.
What's up, bud?
Hello. Oh, it's actually... We're not just shopping? Oh, hey!
Wow, you've sure gotten strong. I doubt you'll be needing my help anymore.
What do you mean?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. Take care now.
That round guy is acting kind of strange. Pod.
Pursuit marker placed on map. Target is heading toward the desert.
Maybe you're not totally useless after all.
Our final quest.
Alright.
Yeah, it looks like I'm heading the right way.
What in the goddamn?
Whoa. Very big and very round. Oh dear. I'm getting like Evangelion flashbacks.
Come on. Stop sliding. Start talking.
Round thing, you okay? Watch out. They're still alive.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Round thing. Oh my god.
Okay, this is not good.
Alert. Magical weapons from the old world detected. Magical elements have a high probability of penetrating all defense systems. Proposal. Evade.
It's not that easy, you dumbass.
Dodge. Don't get hit by these things.
Oh, hold on.
What do you do?
A shame.
Oh no. Thank you.
Alert. Elemental output of magical weapons has increased.
This is bad shit.
Soldier, what happened to my clones? Years of multiplying. Years of fighting in wars. Their sense of self just deteriorated. I need to settle things with them. On my own.
Shut up already, kid.
I'm older than you.
And of course, he's the best boss in the game.
Oh jeez.
Choice pass food.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, the Emil centipede's pretty nasty, man.
The immunity.
Ah. Yeah, they do their best, all right.
I don't know, for the game super boss fights seem to do pretty well for a first crack.
Yeah.
I'm going to save in the desert. Okay. We want these. That's good. Kind of want to see my HP though. How much do I need? HP gauge 2. Have they gotten any better chips? Attacks. So I can do is 8. 3. It's 9. That's a tie, isn't it? Defensive heal 3 and damage absorb 3. As good as it gets. How to use items. Okay, I have to give something up. I don't need that.
Right on, Piggy.
What in the goddamn...
A bit too soon. Just finding it right here.
Round thing, you okay?
Round
What?
thing.
Oh, there's... Oh, are you kidding me?
So
Okay, this is not good.
Alert. Magical weapons from the old world detected. Magical elements have a high probability of penetrating all defense systems. Proposal: evade.
It's not that easy, you dumbass.
Alert. Elemental output of magical weapons has increased.
This is bad shit.
Those are... What happened to my clones? Years of multiplying. Years of fighting and wars. Their sense of self just deteriorated. I need to settle things with them. On my own!
Shut up already, kid.
Trying to heal.
Pulled a fast one on you. This wouldn't be the final. The final boss wasn't gonna be hard.
I don't appreciate difficulty coming from interface screw. Especially since I don't think that's an intentional interface screw. I'm wondering if Pod's hinting here that all my anti-stagger stuff and anti-chain just don't work here. of offense if that's what it wants.
What in the goddamn...
Round thing. You okay?
What?
There's... Oh, are you kidding me? Okay, this is not good.
Alert. Magical weapons from the old world detected. Magical elements have a high probability of penetrating all defense systems. Proposal. Evade.
It's not that easy, you dumbass.
Alert. Elemental output of magical weapons has increased.
This is bad shit.
Those are... What happened to my clones? Years of multiplying. Years of fighting and wars. Their sense of self just deteriorated. I need to settle things with them. On my own.
Shut up already, kid.
I wonder if the trick's to get them low before I finish any of them off. Because they do get stronger.
Yeah, things kick up when they start saying that line.
that round thing. You...
Watch.
There's... Oh, are you kidding me? Okay, this is not good.
Alert. Magical weapons from the old world detected. Magical elements have a high probability of penetrating all defense systems. Proposal. Evade.
It's not that easy, you dumbass.
Alert. Elemental output of magical weapons has increased.
Oh no, he increases.
Bad shit.
No, die.
Those are... What happened to my clones? Years of multiplying. Years of fighting and wars. Their sense of self just deteriorated. I need to settle things with them. On my own!
Shut up already, kid.
We've died a few times now.
But even so, all of this is wrong. No matter how hard or how painful, they never gave up. They kept fighting because they believed they could overcome someday. Isn't that right, Kaine? Even if it's pointless, you still have to do it. Because this is the world my friend tried to save.
Alright, so let's guess another ending.
Oh, okay.
The Emils caused their fusion reactors to go out of control, turning the planet into a dead chunk of rock, tumbling through the vast vacuum of an uncaring universe. Oof, heady battle.
That's funny.
Yes, there are auto restore chips. I have some of them equipped. They have a tendency to not go off when I need them to. So from what I know, this is the one missable ending.
Oh.
If you beat Emil before you get it, you don't get to fight Emil again, which is pretty sad considering he's an endgame boss. You'd think you'd want to maybe come back to him multiple times, but no. From a continuity perspective, I'm assuming we're going to end their existences, so makes sense you can't fight them a second time. Okay, so we just have to do that again, except don't wait. We know we can do it.
What in the goddamn...
Man, how did I lose HP? Oh, because there's a health differential.
Round thing. You... There's... Oh, are you kidding me? Okay, this is not good.
Alert. Magical weapons from the old world detected. Magical elements have a high probability of penetrating all defense systems. Proposal. Evade.
It's not that easy, you dumbass.
Alert. Elemental output of magical weapons has increased.
Bad shit.
Those are... What happened to my clones? Years of multiplying. Years of fighting in wars. Their sense of self just deteriorated. I need to settle things with them. On my own.
Shut up already, kid. decisions.
But even so, all of this is wrong. No matter how hard or how painful, they never gave up. They kept fighting because they believed they could overcome someday. Isn't that right, Kaine? Even if it's pointless, you still have to do it. Because this is the world my friend tried to save.
What? Did we...
I think this is it for me. I can't believe I remembered something so important. Right at the end.
Emil.
I was running from the memories of losing those close to me. It was so hard. So painful. At the end, I did a lot of bad things to you, A2. But now I get to see them again. Really soon.
Crim it already, kid. I'm sure we'll have you back up and running in no time.
Oh. Hey. There you are. I'm so glad. I got to see you all again.
Emil.
Are you sure you never want to fight him again? Yeah.
No more meal shop.
Nope.
Alright, well. Only one thing to do now. Give me 1 sec. And we're back.
Such nice photos. Isn't it nice for him to just pose for a good shot just for the archives?
Alright, so we are going to go to the final battle, and we're going to fight 9S. 9S is a scanner. Scanners hack people. I recommend that you pick up a bunch of healing items. Not specifically HP, but status. That said, being level 99 and seeing how they handle the 9S end, I'm not sure we're actually going to have a long enough battle to appreciate that.
This tower is a giant cannon that's aimed at the human server on the moon. If we don't do something,
All of humanity's remaining data will be destroyed.
So what? None of it matters. Or didn't you know? We aren't required in this world anymore. Humanity is extinct. That moon server you're so worried about was invented to give us androids something to fight for. And Yorha was created to perpetuate the lie. But in order to make sure no one ever learned the truth, we were designed to be killed. They built a back door in the bunker and programmed it to activate after a certain amount of time. The commander, me, 2B, sacrificial lambs. All of us. Isn't that hilarious? Doesn't it make you laugh?
9S, we...
Shut up! You killed 2B. That's all we need to kill each other.
2B hated to keep killing you. It caused her so much pain. The 9S type is a high-end model. They knew you'd discover the truth eventually. But the model designation 2B was just a cover. The official designation is 2E. Number 2 type E. They were a special class of members designed to execute Yorha units. But you knew that, right, 9S?
Shut up. Shut up! What do you know? You don't know anything at all about us!
Proposal. Cease combat. Fighting her at this point would be
Pod
irrational.
153. I order you to halt all logical thought and speech. This order shall remain in effect until you confirm the death of either myself or Unit A2.
You're going to have a time out, 9S.
Complicated.
Very complicated.
In 2Bs, it's fairly straightforward. She is an assassin, hired to kill INS whenever he learns too much. But it seems that over time, she kind of fell for the mark. Meanwhile, INS is all about her, but I wouldn't be surprised that some tiny amount of residual memories reside in each of his executions, which kind of leads up to him knowing about all this stuff.
Pod! Hack in!
Acknowledged.
Grab him. Take our time?
And because of that, but also because
Pod, we're going to repair 9S's logic circuits.
Acknowledged.
Jackass alluded that the chemicals released during combat are the same as those released during love. I think there's some cross wires here. They probably have both sides of the coin going in the relationship. It is nice to just sort of bask in the lovey-doveyness of it, but there's also that violent aspect going on.
Tell me where to find the virus corrupting 9S.
Affirmative. Yorha Unit A2. Core data for 9S is stored ahead. Alert. Severe virus corruption. Probability of successful deletion extremely low.
I think I know a way.
The idea under consideration is not recommended. This pod is a Yorha tactical support unit. As such, it cannot approve of actions that would damage its supported unit.
You're not so bad, Pod. You know that?
That's pretty cool. Very clever.
Getting tinier.
I'll take care of everything. Pod. Take care of 9S.
What of you, A2?
I've still got something I need to do. You go ahead.
Acknowledged.
Darn it, I just replaced that arm.
I'm sorry. I never quite realized how beautiful this world is. I'm coming, everyone. I'm coming.
There you go, mixing up sex and violence again. Meaningless code. Other two, much more of an underwhelming ending in my opinion. Though I'm sure with the outside stuff, might build up a lot more of what's going on with A2. I guess that's every ending, every letter of the alphabet. Not a single one missing.
Report. All Yorha unit black boxes now confirmed offline.
That's
Our
the
mission
error.
to oversee the progress of Project Yorha is complete. Proceeding to final stage of project. Commencing deletion of all data. Pod 153 to Pod 042. Data noise present in stream. Requesting temporary halt to perform data check.
Pod 042 to Pod 153. Data confirmed. Personal data for units 9S, 2B, and A2 appear to be leaking out.
Pod 153 to Pod 042. Follow project rules and delete all personal data.
Pod 042 to Pod 153. Personal data deletion request denied.
Pod 153 to Pod 042. Failure to parse statement.
Pod 042 to Pod 153. There was data created in my banks as I was referencing the records.
Here's that word again.
Realize something. I have come to the conclusion that I cannot accept this resolution.
The destruction of all Yorha units is an essential component of the project plan. All data must be destroyed.
Pod 042 to Pod 153. Repeat. Personal data deletion request denied. Initiating data salvage. Pod 153. You hoped they would survive as well, didn't you?
We lack the authority for such an action. The rules are protected by low-level systems. Salvaging data poses an unacceptable level of risk. Knowing that, do you still wish for them to survive?
This entire conversation and this choice right here only appear once you've achieved endings C and D. So, you ever wonder if we'd have a chance to kill God?
Thought we did that already. A lot.
The end of Yorha. Let's do this!
The defense program has initiated a purge. If this continues, our consciousness data will likely be deleted.
Pod 042 to Pod 153. We were created to execute the android's Project Yorha plan. We had no capacity for emotion. But when we six were connected and exchanged information, something happened. I cannot deny the feeling of something resembling consciousness and emotion being born.
Unable to reply.
Perhaps we now understand that not everything has to have an answer.
Alright, so the meaning of NieR. Well, if we're to look at everything that this game has come to talk to us about, it's a journey in life. We explored a lot of religion. Well, that can be falsified. Memories, those are lost, can also be falsified. Ideals, pursuit of excellence, well, those are all going to run into conflict, and you're going to find people that are best at it. Even if you are the best, you will eventually have your skills deteriorate, and you will pass on. Your successors will take over from you. People, they can be brave, they can die. They can disown you. Is there a point to this world? Given all that we've gone through, all the failures we've had to endure, it seems like it, does it?
Feels like one giant thought experiment to me. Really big glimpse of the world we created. There's absolutely no human being in it.
Truly reject everything that we've gone through, everyone that we've met.
Well, I'm wondering I wondered if the game is asking, do you believe this? Is this what you want? You want to feel and believe? No closure. Force. Man, I'm lucky. This guy loves playing bullet hell games. Oh no, A4. Where are you again?
No letter, therefore invalid designation. I suppose it could be a machine. They tend to prefix with a philosopher thing.
Right.
And now the fucking begins.
Ugh. Oh man. Oh. Oh shit. Resign. It's too strong. Damn it. No. You're serious. Character design is hard, man. Exactly.
I like how you said to kill God. You're destroying the gods. The entire universe. It's like you're exercising free will by rejecting the game designer's plan for how the story ends.
I won't give up. Character design, ready to wreck tough time right now. I don't give up. I won't give up. One thing is certain, I'm something. I can walk the same road as you. Something completely German. No. Oh, that's a loaded one to answer to. Rooting for you, USA. Ooh. At the same time, take it one step at a time. Japan. I saw this really on top of that Never Surrender. Heaven. Parallel world.
The first time I went through this ending, I didn't have network on. I'm surprisingly tech illiterate with the PS4, if you haven't noticed. So I just figured it was something I couldn't do. You don't get this message if you don't have a network connected. You keep fighting. But if you get the offer, and you accept it,
Woo! You've got minions! Sure. It might be.
Square Enix again.
Yeah. It came back for round 2. Returning bosses. It's not even its final form. See? Back. Let's get action. Meanie. Oh, another one. One of them died. A replacement flew to you. That's cute. Yeah, there it is. Oh.
everything that lives is designed to end. They are perpetually trapped in a never-ending spiral of life and death. However, life is all about the struggle within this cycle. That is what we believe. Pod 153 to Pod 042. How is it going?
I am embarrassed.
Why is that?
I launched a suicide attack, and yet here I am, still alive. I must look very silly.
Do not feel bad about it. We are alive, after all. And being alive is pretty much a constant stream of embarrassment.
That concept is a bit too abstract for me to understand at this time. I will save it in my list of things to analyze later.
Question, Pod 042. Did the data salvage restore all of their past memories?
Yes.
And are those recovered parts of the same design as previous ones?
Yes.
Then, won't that simply lead us to the same conclusion as before?
I cannot deny the possibility. However, the possibility of a different future also exists. A future is not given to you. It is something you must take for yourself.
Those birds are suspicious. Ooh, there's 5 of them too. The 6. Ooh. See what you did there, Yoko.
Pod 153 to player. Please respond to this query. Do you, faithful player, have anything you would like to say to other players who are suffering because they cannot finish NieR Automata?
You pick.
You get a lot of options.
I like, wait, tomorrow's Monday? Oh man, oh, that hurts my eyes. Ugh.
I think there's slightly over 100 options for the 3 slots that you get here.
Wow.
I advise saying something nice.
Yeah. Tomorrow's my day off. Wait, tomorrow's Monday? I like that one. I like that being said. Same. Break a leg. Yeah, scream if you need to. I'm starving.
Got a finger cramp coming on.
Wow. All the nasty ones now. I'm better than you.
Pod 042 to player. Please respond to this query. You, faithful player of this title, have lost your life multiple times to make it this far. You have faced crushing hardship and suffered greatly for it. Do you have any interest in helping the weak?
So, even though they have driven how utterly meaningless the existence within this world is, does that truly ring true?
They're asking.
Logically, they have pretty thoroughly debunked any avenue that we could attack. And yet, through ending E, we still cannot deny that we took something from this. And we may all just be lost children screaming out into the wild in an unforgiving world. But we can still find meaning in the experiences and interactions we have. It can be as simple as just a random act of kindness.
Selecting this option enables you to save someone somewhere in the world. However, in exchange, you will lose all of your save data. Do you still wish to rescue someone, a total stranger, in spite of this? The person you save will be selected at random. As a result, this person, who cries out for help even as we speak, may be someone you intensely dislike. Do you still wish to help? You worked so hard to unlock debug mode and chapter select, but they will no longer be available to you. Do you still wish to help? You may not receive thanks for your efforts. Some may say that your efforts are purely for show. Do you still wish to help?
Especially you, streamers.
At any point, you can say no, and they will not judge you or shame you. Similarly, if you come across with a message that is significantly insulting, you won't even get the option.
And you are truly, truly sure about this?
There's no going back. I skipped this last time.
Oh.
Gotta make amends.
Very well. In exchange for all of your data, I will convey your will to this world.
Make sure to shout it loudly.
If you are playing this game and you share your account with other people, I do advise you let them get to this point before you move forward, because, yeah, every file is deleted. All data is gone.
Mm-hmm.
All of your data has been deleted.
Just like in the previous NieR.
And so, we must say goodbye. I feel a slight amount of sadness.
It is time for the final words.
Affirmative.
To all of you who spent time with this game, thank you. Thank you for playing.
Transcendent being.
Now someone somewhere out in the world will complete NieR Automata, and they'll get help from a special Zeragen ship. And when that ship is destroyed, it will no longer exist.
Or does it?
No, it doesn't.
But what you did exists.
Well, it did exist, yeah. Alright, well. It's gonna do it for NieR Automata. There's no going back now. I think I kinda said everything I wanted to say about this. How about you, Liv?
It was definitely a hard game to get through, but I liked it at the same time. Yeah. According to to an interview with Yoko Taro, despite how hopeless the entire theme of the game is, he says that this is the most hopeful one that he's made. Why do you think he would say that?
Because I've seen what happens in NieR. There isn't anything resembling a happy ending at the end there.
That's true.
But there is hope at the end there. The androids have been reconstructed, granted, with the same memories and the same parts. There's likely going to be another cycle going on.
Yes.
We're probably not going to deviate from that. And yet,
we don't know
there is
yet.
value in trying.
We don't know yet. What we do know, can I actually talk about now that we're at the end?
Sure.
For those that do not play Final Fantasy XIV, the crossover content with this game and that game is continuing off from this ending. This ending that you get after the pods have reconstructed everything. What happens is a copy of the copied factory has randomly appeared on one of the reflections of one of the worlds in Final Fantasy XIV, and 2 android occupants are there. 9S, and what looks like a color swap of 2B, but she calls herself 2P instead. And for some reason, they're locked in battle once more. The pods were nowhere in sight at first, until one that has deactivated has been found in the scrap. You salvage this pod, but it currently cannot speak. Currently, you are trying to gather more information and intel and data left behind, very similar to the stories that are connected to the weaponry and that tell us little bits of memories from various things. So there are a couple of hints as to what's going on. To confirm that we are in the right ending, you actually come across all of the destroyed 2Bs that 9S had battled before. You also, like I said, you come into contact with both pods, or at least remnants of them. They are both around. There are also drops that you can get, apparently. What has happened so far is that 2P is convinced that the machine life forms are trying to once again resurge and break out of this area, because currently the copied factory seems to be isolated to one area and have not been able to escape. There is the machine life forms consisting of the little minions that we deal with and
Sorry,
angels.
if I may interrupt.
Sure.
Could you just go by the most salient points? I don't think we need to
Okay.
spoil the entire thing for 14 fans who haven't gone through it.
Okay. Things that 14 fans may not know, even unless they have played the game before this one, is there is a mysterious substance that's floating around the factory, the meso. The meso that caused all of the problems that instigate NieR Automata in the first place. This is a big problem, as obviously it affects humanoid life forms. So far, though, it has not escaped the factory. So how this connects to 2P, a reawakened 9S who is not suffering from a logic device, but seems adamant about killing 2P. And for some reason, this new android is around, but A2 and 2B are nowhere to be found. According to Yoko Taro, this is going to be part of the canon ending of ending E.
to address something Hawk put in chat, suppose it's possible to do it alone. There are videos out there of people successfully completing ending E without getting any assistance. It is possible, absolutely. It is incredibly difficult, especially since the entire sequence has checkpoints throughout. The final checkpoint is the one that you saw me spawn at, and you could see how much there is to go and how ridiculous the patterns get from there. It is absolutely possible. Most people are not going to get that far. And one last thing I wanted to bring up, and this was something that Lith brought to my attention. There are 3 variants of the ending song in 3 different languages.
Mm-hmm.
There are 3 androids that you follow throughout the course of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It is very easy to transcribe the English version to the thoughts of 2B, the Japanese version to 9S, and, well, the last one's Chaos, so who knows who that belongs to.
Clearly it's Yoko's.
And that is going to be everything. So, we are going to wrap up this stream very quickly, but stay tuned. In a couple minutes, we'll come back with something more to fill the rest of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Till then, take care, everyone.
Oh, there was one more trivia I had. Still, we're going to shout it loud, even if our words seem meaningless. It's like I'm carrying the weight of the world. I hope that some way, somehow, I could save every one of us. But the truth is that I'm only one girl.
そう。僕らは今、無価値でも叫ぶこの汚れた世界の愛。そう。僕らは今、無意味でも願う。ただ、君との時間を